Welcome, everybody. I wish you a wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And it's my big pleasure again, every week, to welcome our great guest. Today, it's my big pleasure to invite one of the really most fantastic cello player, a real artist. I must say that he is absolutely amazing in all the way. And I'm sure that you will enjoy our meeting today with this great cellist, JIRI BARTA, who is our guest today. Welcome, JIRI.
Hello, and everybody. Hey.
I must say also to everybody that we are both Czech and we have never talked in English together. So it's actually the premiere in our lives as well, because before the interview we were talking in Czech as well. That's actually the first time we are talking in English. Welcome, JIRI. How are you today? Are you in Prague?
I am in Prague. I'm in my basement, which serves me as a studio. And yeah, thanks for the intro. That was impressive. It was quite something. Thank you. Great to be. Thank you for having me. Also, I mean.
Thank you so much. Well, I am so happy that we have time, because actually in this time we are not allowed to meet. And this is something what it's for us also a great opportunity that we have a chance to meet at least through the screen, because otherwise it's no chance. So I must say by myself, we know for such a long time. And I must say the memory, it has been in 1991, probably, when we had the first tour together, right?
That's what you say, but I think it was 92. It doesn't matter. It was, yeah, it's
right.
quite a long time ago, yes. And you were a small child, and I was a grown-up man, and and having said that you were a small child, you were a big star already at that time. And having said that I was a grown-up man, I wasn't. I was far from being a star, and I was all of envy. No, it was we haven't this first hour meeting was somewhere in out from Prague, a small town, I think in Moravia, which is east from where we live, in Prague, and we played in one concert, but not together. Half and half. I played, I think, first half, you played the second, or vice versa. I don't know. Doesn't matter really. But so yeah. And I was listening to. I was thinking, wow, that was really something. I mean, I told at that time, I told myself, I wish she would play violin or piano. Sorry, I know this is Harp channel, but you know how this. I can say that because I am cellist, and I have a little bit. Our repertoire is a bit bigger than yours, but still by far. We don't reach the height of of piano or violin, So that's what I meant.
You should create the cello channel as well. But you have plenty of other comparing to the harp, of course. But JIRI, you are really, I don't know how you are called in the English-speaking countries. Are you called JIRI or JIRI or Jirka, or how do you want me to call you? Because I, of course, call you JIRI. It's pretty normal, but I don't know how is it called, how you are called when you are, what the people are calling you, how they call you.
That's always. I always had a problem with this name. Yeah, I have to say, because they either JIRI, JIRI.
Yeah.
That's the most often version where if they see it, and then I try to say correctly. It's not really JIRI, it's JIRI. And I say, what? And I say, well, it's the same as, Antonín Dvořák, but mostly I deal with musicians, right? So most of the musicians, they know Antonín Dvořák, right? But they say Dvořák. I said, it's fair enough. Dvořák is, that's good, So why don't you say JIRŽÍ, right? And then it will end up with JIRŽÍ, because they still, my name starts with J. They tend to start to pronounce my name with J at the beginning, and then they try to follow my instructions. And so the verse, what I can hear is JIRŽÍ. Yeah. So yeah. So I should have been called Yuri, right?
But I will
Russian.
try. I will call you correctly today so that people can get used to it, so that you will really hear how to pronounce your name. So, JIRI. I would like to start in the very beginning. I know that you are not from the musical family, but they are very big music lovers and art lovers. Can you tell us how it has come that you started to play cello? Who was the inspiration for you, or it was your first instrument ever, or did you play something else before? Or just tell me the stories of your start of the cello player.
Yes, actually, my father, he is an architect. He's doing very well. Although he'll be 90 next year, but he's doing amazing. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. He's amazing.
Actually, this up there, this painting is his actually. So he was painting the 60s when I was. Yeah. Hello, my friends. That's my mother on the other side, and so he was an artist. I mean, in the true sense of the word. My mom was a pharmacist, although she never worked in a pharmacy, and she was a teacher. And they both loved music, but I think it came mostly from my mom's side. Although her father was a butcher, and mom was home, working in his butchery when he was private, and then later on she was at home with kids. She comes from 5 children, so they all played some instrument. They were very good singers, and there I am going in the direction of your question: how did my cello start? Because my great uncle, which means brother of my mom's mother, brother of my grandmother, was a cellist, professional cellist, and also he was one of those who ended up at the end of the First War in the Far East in Siberia. Those legie, however you pronounce it in English, I don't know. Yeah. Those were the remaining troops of Czech fighters who ended up fighting against the Bolsheviks in the Far East, and they came back home long time after the war ended. 2 years after, I remember my grandmother said we all were thinking that he's dead or at least buried somewhere in Russia. And then it comes the day. The door opens and here he is. It was like a ghost. There was those incredible stories you hear. So he was a cellist. He made his living playing in the silent movie theaters. Literally that was his musical life mostly, or parties. I don't know, whatever came up at that time. And after he came back from this war in I think it was 1921, the first president Jan Masaryk of Czechoslovakia at the time.
Tomáš Garrigue.
Yeah. Tomáš Garrigue. Sorry, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk. Jan Masaryk was his son later on, and he was very grateful to those soldiers coming from the war, and so he got a job at the Prague Castle, I don't know, some office work and like a steady income. Finally he was I wouldn't say well off, but making some regular money. But he still now and then picked up the cello and played it at home of my grandmother, and then that's how my mom remembered how she loved the cello, the sound of the cello.
Mhm.
And so she wanted my sister. I have a sister also. She lives in the States. She's probably down in Arizona there.
Mhm.
Oh, it's warm there in Arizona. It's cold here in Prague. So she's probably watching High Carter.
I think that
So
I have heard
she,
it somewhere
yeah.
as well. But I have to find it because I think I don't. You can talk
I don't know,
about.
Kate. I don't know. Maybe she's not there. Yeah, maybe she'll. It's too early in the morning. No, it's not too early in the morning, but whatever. So she played the piano, and I started to play cello. That's the whole thing. Yeah, that's
in the middle one.
Ayla, my daughter. Then it's Kate, my sister. Then Michel Rezon, wonderful clarinetist, and Roman Patachka, wonderful violinist. Yeah, we look happy. No pandemic stress yet.
Indeed, yeah. So, and your sister is also artist. She has studied the art, but not the music, right?
Yeah, she was a very good painter. She as my father, she finished the architecture in Prague, and then soon after, and she was studying quite well here. But then she moved with her husband, who is a medical doctor. So they moved to the States a long time ago. 1 year before we met in 1990. So ever since she's been there, and they are happy. And
that's lovely. And you started what age did you start to play the cello, not the violin?
What age did you start, Harp, Janička?
But when I started when I was 7, probably. I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Nobody remembers.
That had to be you were 3 or 4 or something. If you don't remember, I was 9 or almost no. I was 9 at that time. Yeah, that's me.
But you were very cute.
That's the time when that must be right at the beginning, because I remember plucking making pizzicato, plucking the strings, and I was longing for the bow. You can't imagine, like you would say, I was longing for a toy, like a car,
I
don't know. Or as a boy, I was longing for a machine gun toy, or I don't know. No, I wanted to have a bow. I wanted to play with bow. This was.
And it was Professor Chuchro who was your first teacher. No,
it was Mirko Škampa, who. It was a coincidence because I lived in the neighborhood of the school. It was the Russian system, and it's actually still working. The People's Art School was called, and so I just happened to live in the neighborhood of the school when one of the best, if not the best, teacher of cello teacher for kids lived in this country. So I was lucky. It was just a coincidence, because I believe that whoever is the first is just molding you. It's so important. You were lucky with your parents, with your wonderful mom, which I will never forget, which I had the pleasure to meet on a number of occasions, and and play for her as a student at the conservatory. I remember her deeply, and so that's an advantage of kids who come from musical background, families, and so if you are not, then either your parents are smart enough to find a good teacher for you, or you have to be lucky. So I guess I was lucky. He was great.
You're very right, and I thank you very much for the memory words about my mom. And I know that she really loved you very much. So, and she was always so supporting you. And I know that, she admired you as a really greatest talent. So I know.
Oh, thank you. But well, she was unique. She was one of the few people who as every profession, there are lots of good hand workers or good, I don't know, whoever you can do it well. Then you can do it beautifully. You can do it almost in a perfect way. But there are very few who really live for what they do. So she was one of those. She was really unique. Yeah. She will. That's how she's immortal in that way. You make her immortal, her best students, and then the memories we keep in our hearts. That makes her immortal. She's really wonderful.
Thank you so much for your words. It's very touching because it's still very fresh, even it's 1 year already. But it's always, and it will be always a little emotional. So I'm thankful. Yeah. Well, but you are very right that so important is to have the good teacher at the very beginning, because it's so difficult to change it after. And you were so much longing for the bow, and I can see here the picture which you sent me where you didn't like it too much.
No, well, I wouldn't say I am a lazy person, but who likes to practice? I mean, I like to practice now, or but as a kid, So that's probably in the countryside, in a as the Russians they say dacha, we say chata or chalupa, which means basically a summer house which my parents bought in the 60s, and we spent all our summers there. It's up in the north, almost in Germany. That's the northern. That's officially you cannot go any norther than that. That's the closest way to get to the Baltic Ocean from there, which is still something like 450 kilometers. But nevertheless, we loved this place there. I mean, whenever I was somewhere out from this country, from Prague, from Czech Republic, from my homeland, for an extended period, whenever I got homesick, I didn't miss Prague, curiously enough. But I always missed this place. There was. I felt rooted there because there was a land, there was the ground, something, the country, the beautiful countryside.
And I will now interrupt you because I would like to everybody see this beautiful, emotional part of our country where our guest, JIRI BARTA, has his summer house. So let's see a little video of the place what he's talking about.
To je skladba, která mě provází vlastně opravdu od počátku mýho violončelového snažení. Já jako dítě jsem se s tím musel potýkat. A pak na konzervatoři a na soutěžích, na koncertech. A nemám toho Bacha nikdy dost, což nemůžu říct o žádných jiných skladbách, který mě třeba svým způsobem můžou fascinovat, ale přijde moment, kdy si řeknu dost. Dvořáka bylo dost. a už ho nechci chvíli hrát prostě. Ale od toho Bacha já nemám nikdy dost.
I must say, I have goosebumps now. Really, I do. I really have. It is so touching. Of course, I would love to talk about this, of your project of Bach, because we will come to this topic, because this was also about it. It was about your new CD, which came out about 2 years ago. And of course, about your love to Bach. And as you were talking about Bach, that it was following you all the time during your studies and everything. When you were at this age, have you played Bach as well?
When was this? Where did you find it?
A secret. I found many pictures which you don't know where I found them.
No, seriously, this is like a okay. This I don't know. This is yeah, for sure. But that might have been in the time when I was actually recording. I studied my. It was early 90s, because I recognized the cello which I played at the time, which is actually here in the corner. I will show you.
Wow!
This one.
Wow,
This one.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I still have it. Yeah. And actually, Josef, my son, he's playing cello, and he's now playing my ever first cello, which is a very nice instrument by grandfather of Jan Spidlen, of the famous violin maker. So I tend to keep my cellos, which I lived with, not all of them, but yes. So and actually this I started to, yes, it was early 90s, and I did play the Bach at that time a lot. I was recording the last suite, this one which was written for the 5-string cello, which makes it extremely difficult technically. Also for Czech radio, there must be and also the second suite. It must be somewhere there in their archive. So because this was something like 91 when I recorded it, so I'm sure. Yeah.
Because you recorded really the same CD about 20 years ago, which you are talking now, and now you recorded exactly the same 20 years later. So that you, after all your life, not all your life, but most of your life, which you have alive something through, but I believe that what we are going through in our personal life, we can adjust to the music. So I think that you felt the same, that you should say by Bach something new, even it's the same.
It's more, yeah. Well, with Bach, it's more complicated than with other music. It's absolutely true what you say. It shows. I think it shows, even though unintentionally you don't want to put it in there, but your personality, the life you live, shows in whatever you make on the stage, in the music making. That's I believe so. If it doesn't show, then you are a stone. You are a cold stone. You are not a musician. You are not a person. So I believe so. But with Bach music, there is no definitive Bach interpretation. So once you finish one project, like a recording those 20 years ago when I did it, I felt like I should do it the second day I was about to do it again, because I want to do it different. I even at that time, it was the companies, they had still budgets for CDs, and I was lucky enough, or you too probably, I'm sure that we nowadays, if you don't find a sponsor, or if you don't pay for the project, I was lucky again, but that's another story with this one. But in the old times, I had plenty of time. I did few versions of I remember Prelude number 4 in different tempi, so that I decide later which one I like, but this is something. It would be difficult today. Like you would say, okay, it's finished, but I want to do it different. They would say, they would, well, we don't. It's what was the time? No. So yeah, well, whatever. I mean, so with Bach music, there was this case, and I was always a bit in the authentic interpretation, in those out gut strings and barbo and all this stuff, and I was kind of faking the sound of a baroque cello on the modern instrument with a modern bow, and I felt that I should do it really on a real baroque instrument, even though the cello was old, but was, I mean, strung with gut strings and a baroque bow. So very soon after, I was again lucky enough to buy this old Prague cello from early 18th century, exactly from the time when Bach wrote the suites, and I put gut strings on it. I bought a baroque bow or a replica of baroque bow, and I started to think about doing it again on a real instrumentary, even though I am not a specialist, But I mean, this concert you and the viewers saw, it was on a modern cello again. But the other recording we talk about, which happened 2 years ago, I did on this cello, with gut strings and baroque bow, and ever since whenever I play old music, I mean baroque music, especially those suites, I do it on the other cello. So I'm a little bit now oscillating between modern and old, so far so good.
Great. Now I must say, you are absolutely very deep person. It seems that when you play the Bach, it seems to be like that you are so connected with something above us, So you are really so concentrated that it doesn't seem that you're in your life, in your world when you play Bach. And I think that it suits you the best as I have ever heard any cello player. You are amazing in this. And I would like again to share with the people one of the part of the TV show, which was also about your recording of Bach.
No.
It was beautiful again. I'm really impressed always. And I must say that we have been lucky enough that during this pandemic time, we had some kind of pause between the pandemic that we could have played also some concerts. And in July, I was also very privileged to play at the same concert with you at the Smetana Festival in Litomyšl. And I know that it has been a concert of only Bach, which was played by you, by the piano of Lukáš Klansky, and the violin, which was played by
your colleague, JIRI Bárta. Yeah,
and
the concertmaster of Czech Philharmonic. Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
The concertmaster of Czech Philharmonic, indeed. And my little thing was there as well, playing the suite. But it was amazing also venue where we were playing. I have also a short video which I recorded during your rehearsal there, but it has been amazing, right? It has been so unique to play.
Yeah, and this was first time when I heard you playing Bach. You played one of the lute suites.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now exchanging compliments, and the people think that we are being too nice, but it was truly a revelation for me because you played it. You should do more of it. I told you already at that time, and because that's your word too. And I mean, I know that the harpist, you live in the world of the mostly of the 19th century, right? And a little bit maybe late 18th century, but the classical time, romantic, and maybe some modern. But you don't go further very often in your repertoire, right? And you know, this sounded amazing, the way you played it, and harp and everything. I ate it all, you know, with no nothing. I would say would I wouldn't say bother me, or it was nothing. Really, it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Do more of Bach. Do more of Bach, Jana. Do more of Bach.
I will certainly, and I must only tell that this interview is about you, and I would like really so much. But thank you so much. I'm very touched by this compliment because it means a lot. From your words, it means a lot. So thank you so much.
It's not about you. It's about us. It's about all the people we hopefully share it with us watching the interview. And it's it's nothing is about me. Nothing is about you. It's all about the world, you know. It's like it's Bach. When he was writing, it was not about himself. He didn't think about himself at the time at all. He was just serving. I don't know. He served his God, but the meaning of God is very universal. It can be whatever, you know. So he was, and that's what attracts us, you know, in his music, because it was not about him. Because you know, that's we people now, we individuals, we are so much into you know, everything has to be about us, about our careers, about being successful, being beautiful, being, you know, whatever. No, it's not about. It's I don't know what is it about, but it's not about us. You know? The whole thing is not about us. You know? So now I know what you mean, but. Do more of Bach. Do more, Jana. You heard it. Harp word is hearing me.
I promise I will. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I absolutely, really, I so much understand what you are saying about that something is different that the people think. And it's hard to explain because we have just to come to that point that we start to understand that the universe is about something totally different than we are thinking about. So you are exactly saying this, and it's seen and heard in your music. And I will just now show about this little mission which we are now so nicely talking about.
Yeah.
There comes your wife to greet you.
Yes, come on, wife can, yes.
Well, we have jumped over a lot of years, but I would like to come back for your studies because it's something what I don't want to miss to hear, because you had really a great teacher. We were talking about Professor Huchro, who was teaching you at the Prague Conservatory, and later on you were going to United States, or did you?
Before that, I was in Germany for very important time of 2 years with Boris Bergamenchikov.
Wow.
There was he was one of those who really influenced me greatly. So shouldn't forget about him. And of course, Josef Kuchro, and then I was in Los Angeles for another year and a half or something like this, and it was short, but it was good with Eleanor Schoenfeld and meeting all those people there who still remembered Piatigorsky and Heifetz, all those people, Schoenberg even, this old Jewish community of the doctors and those who were around those guys, those people, So I even stay at the family of one of those ladies who was a very close friend of Madame Piatigorsky, widow of Gregor Piatigorsky. So there was a touch of a great past which influenced you. It was not just. I was old. I mean, compared to the kids today, I was well over 20 years old. I was 20. No, this is young. Really, I don't know. Where did you get this one? So, but it was important. I did because I won some nice prize there the year before, so I get a chance to play quite good concerts there. So which were actually one of my first, apart from the concert I played in 1989 in Germany with the Dortmund Philharmonic Orchestra, the Bloch Shlomo, and few things, but I didn't play. I didn't have really. So it's early 90s that was. I started to play big concerts really over there, and it gave me a little bit more security that I can do it somehow.
But it helped. Did you feel that the life in USA helped you to feel different on the stage as well, more self-confident, or did it help you in this way somehow?
Yeah. Well, that's. I think it's all. Yeah, that helps. I mean, I can say whoever studied in the States, whoever laid his or her foot on this country, I can see they are different in the way they. I mean, talking about musicians now. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's different. It's just this country is different, and and in order to survive I think in this country, you have to be really confident a lot. You have to be self-secure as hell, So that and coming from our poetic lyric country of it's which I adore, which I like. I mean, it's we are different. We are. It's this. We are still. This is east of Europe. I feel that it's different. It's different to Germany already. It's different to France, to UK. I mean, London is very similar to New York or the States. England is again very different from mainland Europe. So I would send everyone over there to see.
And I will now bring you my guest and my surprise for you, and that person can tell you more.
Hello.
That's my sister Shen.
What a surprise.
That's a big surprise. Hello.
Hello there.
I just wanted to make
Hello. That's my sister Katja, Kate.
yeah. And we are just now talking about not only about your still study time, about your childhood, and of course about your sister Kate. And we were also now talking about the United States, about the difference between the two countries. And as we have now already heard, he didn't know that you are coming into the broadcast. He was talking about you, that you are living also in the United States and that you moved there quite a long time ago, already about 90s, at the beginning of 90s. So
Yeah.
did you also found the big difference between living in our country with a little Czech Republic and to move to such a huge country as the United States? And certainly two of you were meeting there. I hope that you were, when Jiří was studying there, that you were able to meet together.
Yes, we had, I think we had one or two opportunities to meet. He actually was visiting me when I was pregnant with my younger son at the time, and it was a really beautiful visit. And we had a lot of time, nice time together.
Yeah, there was. You were still in Minnesota at the time, in Rochester,
At
Minnesota.
that time, yes.
Yeah.
At the time, we
Yeah.
lived in Minnesota.
Yeah,
And,
yes.
he was.
I flew from Los Angeles at the time, and I am this kind of person who has never time to. I am terrible. I am such a big loser, keeping contact even with my beloved sister. So at that there was I was in Los Angeles sitting on my butt, practicing as hell for my whatever upcoming, and my this lady, wonderful, which we had a very close contact, Shirley. She said, "Hey, Jiří, you should see your sister."
Actually,
Jiří, you should see your sister. With this Jewish accent, And I said, "Well, I don't have time. I have to practice." "No, you regret. You have to see her." So she got me. She brought this at the time. There was no internet, so she was getting Los Angeles Times, which I was avid reader, and she showed me this ad, like Los Angeles, Minnesota, $250 or something like this. I said, "Well, for this money, I can fly back to Europe, And so she said, "Well, I don't care where you can fly, but for this $250, you are going to see your sister." So she literally, she said, and I was so happy to see her. This is terrible. I am terrible, but we had best time there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We took a short trip to Minneapolis, I think, at the time. Yeah.
And I saw you again later on when I was this Newport Music Festival. I had a wonderful ticket. I was at that time I was flying to Japan and then to Australia and then to the United States and back to somewhere in Europe. And this Australian festival, he was like, "Oh, we cannot afford. They wanted to buy a round trip Prague to whatever back." And I said, "How much is it?" They said it was expensive. So I said, "Don't buy me a cello ticket. Buy me round ticket around the globe. For the same money. For the same money." I'm smart sometimes. I say, "Well, how do you fly your cello?" I say, "That's not your business. I will come with the cello." I had this heavy duty case, and I was praying for good luck, so it arrives, Mostly it arrives at the time. It arrived, So I was playing. I know many people knows it, but at the time it was like a miracle for me. I could do, I don't know, like 50 stops, but I have to go westbound, So I had to go only west. So I flew there over the Pacific Ocean there and to the festival in between, seeing my sister and then somebody in New York and then to Finland and this. I couldn't find places where I could go, good. And I had to, of course, I had to play in between, you know. So.
Of course.
Super nice. I would like to ask you, do you have any memory of any, from your childhood together? How did you manage? Have you been a good sister brother together, like helping each other, supporting, or have you been fighting to each other, or have you been doing some against things, or how was it your childhood?
Actually, it was really great. It was great to the point that our friends made fun of us because we really loved each other and we were nice to each other. The only thing what we did, we were pranking each other too. And actually, I have one little story. It is little gross. I'm not sure if I can say it here, but
you can say what it. Yeah.
Okay, too good to keep it to myself. Okay, so it was that story is from really far away when we were just little children. At that time, we shared one room, and we had there to be able to sleep there. Our father built us a bunk bed. So I, as an older sibling,
2 levels,
upper bunk bed. Well, and it was, we were very young because at the time our parents were, every night they were reading us bedtime stories. So, but sometimes JIRI, I always make that mistake.
Because she's got her oldest son is JIRI.
Yeah, my son is also JIRI.
He's got the troubles, you know, as U.S. citizen, you can imagine.
You have to talk to me like that. Say JIRI, don't say JIRI, because nobody can say it. So the thing was that one day story was already gone, and JIRI still wanted to have some story. And at that time I was really good storyteller. So he asked me, Katka, could you please tell me one other story? And so I said, okay, I will. So I told him the story, and then I got this mischievous idea because a day before he jumped out the dark and really scared me. So I thought, I'll get you this time. So I said, Jirka, look at me. And he said, why? In that time, I spit a little bit on his face.
But that was not... listen, my dear friends, she did it all the time. She put it in a way. She was really bad, but it was not one-time thing that happened on a regular basis, you know. And the worst thing, stupid me, I was trying to spit back, you know. And unfortunately, we have this gravitation, you know. So if you want to spit upwards towards the first level of the bed, it comes back on you, you know. So I was double spitted on. No, we had a...
We had such a great time always.
Yeah, we had a great time. We loved each other, I think.
We loved each other, and in Lobendava, that's the village we spent our summer together. That was, JIRI was already talking about it because I was listening to, what you were talking before about it. And it's such a magical place. Lot of basically wilderness, not, we are actually the last house in the village. So no one is around us except one neighbor. And we loved it there. We had even our little gang of friends. We always did some stuff with them, running about, biking, swimming, whatever. It was definitely...
well, and we have to say this is...
beautiful.
It's beautiful, but, the history of that land is...
History of that land
is... That's ex-Sudeten land, which this was the very German part of Czechoslovakia, which the Czechs at first, after the Munich Agreement in '38, he had to leave but they were not Czechs actually. This was really German only.
Mhm.
But then after 48, the Germans were expelled from out of there, and
Yeah.
we as a kids we didn't quite understand, because the communists they really didn't talk a thing about it. There was
No.
muted. There was
They-
a taboo. There was a
Yeah.
big. It still is kind of,
Yeah,
And,
because it is a shame, basically, It is,
yeah. Well, yes.
I mean,
So
it
we
is
just.
understandable, but still, it's not right.
It didn't do any good to this country, to the country, to this country.
Because those people were living on that country for many generations. Some of them were very nice. Hard work.
Hundreds of years,
But you know what,
And,
Jiří, I mean, people, they were still people when we used live there. I mean, during the summertime, they were still people who were speaking German only.
Yeah, there were German people there. I mean, they left there, like mixed marriages.
So not everyone, left.
But I know that well, at least in the church where you were recording the CD, they love you very much because.
Well, this is yes, but again, this is church which can house about 3,000 believers. 3,000 believers. So you can imagine, and it was full. Not only one service on Sundays. There were more than 4 or 5. I mean. And it's amazing Baroque church, which is literally falling apart. It's falling apart. You cannot see it, but there are damages, constructional damages. My father, when he saw it, he said it will not survive too many years to come, because it's just it's slowly falling apart. There's so it's not. It's just shows. I don't know. I have a different feeling about this country. I love it to death. At the same time, I don't know what to do with it, because it's still the wounds are deep. And how to heal it, I don't know.
There is not much work over there either, so that's a bad part, And as I heard, hospitals nearby, the nearest was.
Rumburg,
They are not
about 30
anymore.
kilometers, and they are closing down, and all these things. Yeah, this is another topic, but it's difficult, even more than it used to be actually now. I don't know for some reason.
Yeah.
So this is my sister. Thank you for wonderful surprise, Jana. Hey, Jana, are you there?
Me.
Jana is not moving. I think we lost you. I lost you somehow.
We lost me? Oh.
No, I lost Jana.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She's not moving.
And she's not talking. Now we have to have a conversation together. I don't know. Or we are out. I don't know. Jana? I can chat with her. Yeah, she disappeared totally. I think she's got some connection problems or something.
Connection problems.
Yeah. So thank you for showing up in our interview.
Sure. My pleasure. Always.
Yeah.
I was
now we are hoping to have Jana back in a short time. I don't know what happened. She's not writing back. I don't know if we are on or not.
Well, that's because usually guests are gone, right?
Yes, the guest is here. So what to do? I don't know, my dear friend.
Well, maybe we can talk more. I was thinking maybe I can say. I hope I will be able to say it, because my English is not that.
This is wonderful.
Well,
I am going to call Jana on the phone.
Yeah, call her.
Because we need her. We cannot live without her.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that we don't have our guest.
Yeah. She turned off her phone, which is smart for the interview, but it's not smart for a situation like this. We are in a desperate need of our host, Jana Boušková. You are on a Harp channel talking with JIRI BARTA and his sister.
Well, here I know that you were talking with Jana about the time you were in Los Angeles, studying and living there and actually giving concerts and also teaching other students, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when you were visiting me, us in Minnesota, I remember that you told me a very, very special story about Shirley and her husband. And I am not sure if it is okay with you, if I can say it.
Yeah, you can say, yeah. I can say it.
What I am talking about.
Yeah, I can say that. The power of music. Yeah.
The power of music.
Yeah. Should I say that?
You say it. You say it.
Yeah. That was quite something. Yeah. Well, Shirley Brody. She was my landlord. She was the lady I was talking about, and her husband was Alzheimer patient at the how do you say that?
Facility.
At the facility. She couldn't keep him at home. She was old herself. One day I said, because he was a music lover as well as she was, and he was an amateur cellist, and I told her, well, I will bring her along. She wanted me to drive to this facility one day. It was across the whole city and lots of traffic, and she had eye operation at the time, or after eye operation she couldn't see well. Jana is back. Hey, I am talking about one story from Los Angeles. Can I finish this story? What happened to you? You left us.
I'm so happy that you could have stayed there, because I have never allowed these kind of things. It has happened that I had a different charger in my computer and it stopped. So I apologize to everybody. My computer just died. So now I'm back, but I was afraid what is going to happen if you are staying there or if you are also disappeared. So
we to the happiness of the viewers, we were here, but we didn't know what to. So Katja, actually, she started to talk about one situation very strong, and one back in the time when I was in Los Angeles, which happened, and it has to do with the power of music, the magic of music. So I'll finish it very briefly, and then we will continue in our talk. So you didn't hear anything, right, Jana? But yeah, I was telling that the lady I stayed with, Shirley Brody, she had a husband who was Alzheimer patient at a local facility, and one day I was asked to drive her to this place, and I said okay, and knowing that he was an avid music lover and amateur cellist himself, I said, why don't I bring my cello along and I will play for him? And she said, well, you can, but he doesn't recognize me. He doesn't talk to anyone. He's just there, but he's not the Jack I have known. You know? I said, well, whatever, you have a big car, I bring my cello and it will not hurt anyone. So, okay, we are there, and then I'm sitting with my cello in this in the room, and it was a dining room, and then here he comes. So they are wheeling him on a wheelchair because he couldn't move at the time. They had to feed him and all this. He died a year after, actually. So he was really in one of the last stages of this terrible disease, and so he couldn't talk. He wouldn't talk to his wife or of course, and something. He said, "Hello, Jack, and how are you, man? I love you very much and stuff. And here I brought my this is boy from Czechoslovakia. He's staying in our house. He's a cellist. He wants to play something for you." No reaction. Nothing. Nada. zero. You know, so I start to play a little something, a little of the Bach suite and the theme from the Dvorak, and he wakes up. He wakes up. No, I mean, he doesn't start to move, but his eyes, there's coming back life in his eyes, and he starts to talk or mumble. You know, he couldn't talk because there's a stiffness in your jaws. You know, everything is so. He wants to talk. You know, and all, you know, the doctors, they, what is going on now? And she, you know, you like it, Jack? You like it? Shirley told, and he, I hate it. You know, like when she said, whenever he really something liked, he said, I hate it. You know, that was something. You know. So, and there you can see like the music, and you know that there's something about music. And then there was Thanksgiving 2 months after or something, and she brings him home for the whole family there, and he didn't see me for 2 months. You know. And we are sitting at the table, and there are sons and I think one grandchild, 2 grandchildren. She is there, best friends of them, and I am there, you know, invited, and so. And he's staring the whole time at me. He's staring at me. I feel ashamed because he had his sons there. They didn't see him for a good amount of time. He's staring at me all the time. Imagine, he didn't forget. This person who didn't recognize you he didn't recognize his wife. You know, he wouldn't. That was unbelievable. I mean, so that's the story. We wanted to fill time.
Yes.
Not having you here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I really apologize once more. But I'm very sure that really the music heals. That music really.
Yeah.
And I know that it was like from that film Awakening with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams. It was basically the same or similar situation. Amazing. Whenever I'm telling this story to someone else, I am always crying. I can't.
No, I had really the goosebumps as well when was JIRI telling.
Goosebumps.
It's amazing. And Kate, because I really thank you so much that you came to
welcome.
You could have been together. But I would like, before you will go, I would like to ask you one more thing, because I think that many people will be interested. Your name, Kateřina Bělohlávek. Do you have something relative with the maestro Bělohlávek?
Unfortunately not. Even if I would love to, but unfortunately not. And it's funnier thing is that my son, his name is JIRI. So it's very close, but we are not related. Unfortunately, I have to say no.
But it's a beautiful name, and I thank you so much. Again,
thank you, Jana.
That I could have managed to meet 2 of you, like one is in the United States, one is in Europe, in Prague. So I'm so happy that we could have seen each other. And thank you so much, Kate, that you broadcast.
Thank you so much, Jana, for inviting me, and thank you so much to be able to be part of this wonderful program, and have a good rest of the night. And bye-bye.
Thank you.
Both of you. Bye-bye.
Photos. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So
thank you. That was a surprise. Yeah.
And it was a big help. Actually, I did not even expect that something like this happens to me. That I will not be able to be on the screen. It has never happened to me before. So thank you very much that you have managed to be now talking.
I feel honored that it happened with me. You know, that means a lot for me.
No, but I'm so really happy that it worked, that you could have seen your sister also online, and that you could talk about your wonderful stories, because certainly it would be so wonderful if you can talk more about everything. How did you manage to with your parents also to make all this happens when you were children, and how did you play, and how your sister was supportive you also during your studies and so on. And yeah, it will come next time. Maybe we will have a chance to talk about it. But let's come back to your heritage of your music. And I would like to know, when you were in the United States, you certainly did many competitions because you won many of them. What was your first step which you think that made you to step more farther from your career?
I don't think that those were the competitions, because I won some and I lost others. You know, I either won first prize or I was kicked out in the first round. I don't know. I just it was so, and it was just lots of time. It was a coincidence. I played somewhere the masterclass somewhere, and for example, this manager of Boris Begemenchik heard me there in the concert of the masterclass during the Schleswig-Holstein Music Festival, and he arranged concerts for me, or at the Piatigraphy seminar in that was in Los Angeles. That's how I got actually to other projects, and so it was I think more of the real. The smallest gigs or shows or concerts, whatever you call it, or appearances as a musician, which I would never expect that anything could come from it. You know, the most came from the most unexpected, as it happens in the life very often. You know. And also, whenever I played something like a debut in the Wigmore Hall, and I was all about it and practicing and stuff, it didn't help much actually. So it helped a little concert somewhere in the nowhere where there happened to be someone who was somehow important somewhere else, and I would never expect, you know. So that's I think it's good to know, because, and that's advice for young musicians. Don't underestimate anything. You know? Whatever comes into your life is the one thing you want to do your best, or you want to live for this moment, and it doesn't matter if it's a Carnegie Hall or a little concert somewhere, or part of the concert somewhere where nobody never ever heard about, and you would never put in your CV. You know, this can turn out to be your most important show of your life. And the older I am, the most I enjoy those so-called little things, you know, because there you can very often make the best out of yourself, and also I don't know, it's just, yeah.
It's very wise. It's very, very clever and wise this to say. And I thank you very much to mention this because it's true. It doesn't need to be the biggest hall, which can bring you some future steps which are more important. And you have also, of course, there are people who meant a lot to you. I'm sure that Josef Suk, the famous Czech violinist, was one of those. Did you perform with him quite a lot?
Yes, in the late in the 90s, he took me to quite many concerts of his as a part of trio or piano trio or a piano quartet, or we played duos, but always chamber music, and it was quite a lesson. For he never liked to rehearse. You know, he hated to rehearse. Which actually I hate to rehearse too. I can understand that, especially stuff you have played many times. But being 20-something, you didn't play most of the repertoire I was playing with him. So at least you want to run it through once, you know. Like, I don't know, Brahms piano quartet. It's hard to do it in 2 or 3 rehearsals. And you can imagine how hard it is to do it, or Beethoven, I don't know, Archduke Trio, in 1 rehearsal, which he doesn't want to finish even, you know. He says, it's beautiful. he beautiful. Let's see. We'll see. I'll see you tomorrow in the concert. Big panic, Oh gosh. But
of course, as everybody knows, he was relative to Antonín Dvořák because he was, of course, Josef Suk was his son-in-law, was his grandfather.
Yeah, Josef Suk composed.
So it's actually, Antonín Dvořák was his grandfather. Two times. So, so did you play with him also, Dvořák? Do you feel that he had some kind of different interpretation or feeling for that music? That I think that we all Czech people have the feeling for the Czech music, but did in his blood was something absolutely different because he was really relative to him?
He was, I think Dvořák is so internationally accepted that I feel that that this Dvořák himself, he's influenced so much by Brahms, himself, that he's a Czech composer, but he's the most international composer of the all Czech composers I know. So I feel that there is not important. Not so much important in the Czech tradition, but he was, of course, he did landmark recording of the Dvořák Violin Concerto, which still is considered as the best by many, But at the same time, for me, he did landmark recording with Julius Ketchen of the Brahms violin sonatas, Suk himself, So, and he did landmark recording of the Brahms double concerto with André Navarra back in the 60s with the Czech Philharmonic and Karel Ančer. So he was in his, especially, in his best years, in his high of his career, he was considered. I cannot root him so much in this country because for me he was one of the best, regardless where would he come from. That's nothing bad about saying it's good. It's very positive. He himself said, I was always questioning where did you get such a he had a he could play so much in tune, and the sound and the intonation and the clarity and everything. Well, he said, well, Kocian, there was his teacher, a very famous here in this country, violinist and teacher, both teacher and violinist. And he said, well, as a kid, he didn't leave a single note. It had to be spotless, And then, and who influenced you later on? And he said, well, as teacher, nobody. I was just listening to Heifetz recordings. So he said literally that maybe Kocian for the international, and then the rest was Heifetz recordings which he kept listening to. So he was,
This brings
he was not so much part of the Czech tradition. Maybe I'm the first who dare to say that here, because Dvořák roots and everything. But he was very much international.
Absolutely, but he was very concentrated on the Czech repertoire mostly. So that's
especially at the time when I was playing with him, mostly it was a Czech repertoire. Dvořák, Suk, Martin a little bit.
Indeed.
That's very true. Yeah.
But this comes to the question, which actually you brought also now. Did you have any inspiration? Did you have any idol who was just someone who you have listened during your studies all the time and you wanted to achieve this kind of like the target of this kind of star you had listened to? Because at that time, I must say, now the people are spoiled because they listen to anybody anywhere, and actually they stop to understand sometimes who is really good and who is not as good, because they hear everybody. And they have so many options that they don't have a chance to really anymore to recognize who has more advertisements is maybe better for them than the other one who is better in a play. But the thing is that at time of our age, when we were studying, we really knew that we could listen on the CDs, or even not CDs, LP disc only.
That's how I grew up with
Or
LPs.
cassettes, you know. So, and this was really someone who were the stars for us, and we knew that this is really something what is the top of everybody. Was there anybody who you listened really all the time, and who was your inspiration?
I loved the sound of Andre Navarra. I mentioned him. Andre Navarra was a French cellist who is not so much remembered as he would deserve, but he did some fantastic recordings for Supraphone in the 60s. And he had the most wonderful sound. And I was lucky enough to spend 4 weeks with him in Siena in late 80s, and to see how he does it. Actually, he was old. There was 1 year before he died, but I could. There was a lot of gymnastics in there. Lots of muscle development for the way he played, and for the way of how he produced the sound. It didn't come from nothing. And then later on, from the younger generation, I really loved Heinrich Schiff, whom I did a master class. I played for him in Prague and had quite a few lessons with him. And he was wonderful. He was amazing. He was really wonderful.
And was there any composition which you really, except Bach, which we were talking about and we will still talk about, is there any other composition which you were really listening during your studies by those masters?
I was my taste was I would say different a little bit. I was very much into the 20th century contemporary music, and I hardly listen to cello music at home for enjoyment, you know. Maybe if I wanted to study something for a study purpose, maybe, but never for pleasure. It just didn't give me. I'm probably not much of a cellist, you know. It's true. I just happen to play the cello. I think I love music, you know, as a music. And the cello is just happens to be something in my hand which I produce music on, but it doesn't matter. It could be something, I don't know, something else, whatever. But so I was very much into the 20th century and all those, the second Vienna, I know anything which was atonal, it changed, varied from time to time, for the Polish school, the Russian school, Hungarian school, and I don't know, all this kind of, you name it. But then I came back to Beethoven, and to Bach was always with me, but then I jumped over the 19th century and the classical romantic period to the 20th. The other thing was boring for me. Mozart was boring, Beethoven was boring, everything else was boring. But you know, now most I play is all those companies. They were boring because I find them. I mean, not now. For last, I don't know how many years I am already. You know, so but so much beauty in this classical Haydn. Oh my God! I mean, those his string quartets or piano trios or the symphonies, and it's amazing.
I believe that we have really periods of our life where we love certain kind of music. And you were talking about the 20th century, and I have here also a wonderful performance of your CD of Rachmaninoff. So let's listen to that video.
It's very romantic.
Yes, that was beautiful CD by Supraphone, which was one of the first CDs of yours, or which number?
It was the second one, with Marian Lapshansky on piano. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Long time ago.
And I must say that this photo, which is on the cover, I think that I had at home. And as there were many girls, of course, in love with you because you were such a handsome as you. I was one of those. And this picture was at home. I had it in my book. And I remember, and I saw it, I said, like, wow, that's life. It's passing so long, but it's always in the good memory. It's so lovely. JIRI, I would like to ask you also, of course, you returned from the United States back to Prague. And you have never been in any orchestra, or have you been? I don't think so.
No. Well, apart from student orchestra and from project orchestras like this one, Mahler Festival Orchestra in Kassel, I've been there twice, and it was a wonderful experience. No, I have never been. Although I was playing with this idea for a certain while, and I did actually 1 or 2 auditions in Germany at the time for a very good chairs in a very good orchestras, but I was not accepted. So which turned out to be good. Actually, I would be too comfortable to. It was a long time before I did this CD or I did anything solo. And they didn't accept me. Probably it was good for them, but it turned out probably good for me too. The real reason. That's what I want to say. There is always some reason. We don't know at the time, but it turns out that everything is for something. Everything has meaning, I think.
Absolutely. Because
like every note in the piece we play has a meaning. That every situation in our lives has a meaning. I believe so very much.
Absolutely. Even we don't know it, but it has a meaning and it has a reason. And because you were really, because of that also, you were really you are having a great concert career as a soloist, but also as a chamber music player, because you are also having a trio with your recent wife, Terezia Fialová, and with Roman Patočka as well. And you are going to have a concert tomorrow, right? A live concert.
This will be, yes. With my dear Terezi, we will do. Originally, it was supposed to do all 5 sonatas by Beethoven. Everybody knows this is 250 years of anniversary of Beethoven this year, which poor Beethoven, he missed most of the celebration this year because of this pandemic thing. So we are doing just 2 sonatas tomorrow.
It's only with Terezia. It's tomorrow. It's
it's a duo program for yes. Instead of a live concert of the 5 minute.
This is your
trio.
That's
the trio. That's a good one.
It's very good. But also you have been not only player, but you are also a great organizer. You have created a great festival, chamber music festival, which is I think it's really one of the most family feeling, but with the greatest not only atmosphere but also the professional. It's just a great really festival, which is in Kutná Hora. You invited the most fantastic players, but still it has no not a feeling that you feel so pressed. You feel like at home, and that's something what you do, because you choose really great people, great performer, and you make the family feeling there. It is quite a long time since you have started this festival, right?
That was back in 2008. We had a first year. It's on the basis you know well that the people, the musicians they meet, they make music and they have fun, at the same time having fun. They try to, those are the people there. Folks, it's kind of, part of Benevit's quartet, and Chloe Henslip was this Konstantin Lifshitz with his family. So we at the same time having fun. It's this that you are giving your best because you have limited amount of time to rehearse stuff, which is quite difficult, and you have to play the day after, the night after. So you rehearse in the night and whenever possible, and it's a just different atmosphere of those festivals. I always loved it. I mean, and I was missing this kind of festival here in this country. And that was my dream a long time before I started this Kutná Hora. It was, whenever I talked to people here, I don't know, it just didn't come, this idea here, because it's been a part of the culture of the musical life in the around the globe, everywhere for I don't know, ever since I think Casals or the people around Casals started his festival in Prades, right? That was in the beginning of 50s, and then there was a Marlborough Festival, and then it started like a mushrooms growing everywhere, because the people love it. You know, they have a different feeling when you play with. Yeah, absolutely. It's a different group. It's not a group you normally play with. So it's not a group you are fed up with this kind of person. I don't know, for different reasons. I don't know, because you played it 100 times this repertoire in 100 concerts. No, this is one concert you rehearse especially for this one, and it's a absolutely different atmosphere. So that's it. So and you were a part of this festival twice only. How can I do it? I mean, only twice. You have to come. With Bach, you will come with Bach. Yeah.
It has been. I have been 3 times. I know that I have been
3 times. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then it was about 10 years ago, and this year. But I know that it's always really beautiful, because the place which you have chosen also is a great place, historical, and many people go there only just to see that place. So be connected with the music. And this year you were really lucky that that time of your festival was open for the concert, so that the concert could have happened. So it was really wonderful that we could have.
Yeah, we were so lucky. It was only a brief period of few weeks. I mean, in late August we had the festival, and August, September was okay. I played 2 concerts there, and I think September, October was off. It was locked again.
The festival, it's usually during the summertime, and
it's early June always. The first week of June. That was the tradition. Yeah.
And it's every year. And it's every year. Yeah. Yes. So those people who would like to visit, it's in Kutná Hora. I will write it down so that you can see the name, and of course you should listen to find it on the internet. But it's, of course, you can see this is the name of the city, and you will certainly see it on the on the page of JIRI. Maybe you can send me also the exact link if you know it by memory.
This is the link.
Excellent. Yeah, I will just pass it there, because this is something what you should maybe know if you would like to. Sorry, this one and that one, and I will just put it like that, and this one here. So if you this one, this is the link, the festival. So if you would like to look at it and visit it, certainly go there, because you will not regret. It's a great place to be, and mainly you will hear fantastic musician, fantastic music, and you will meet in person JIRI BARTA as well, of course, and his old friends and family, and his great sister who was here with us today. But JIRI, I would like also to mention a little bit about your personal life, because this is something what is also very, very interesting for the people. You have 4 children. Is that true?
Yes. With 2 different mothers. yes.
Both of your mothers, both of the mothers of your children, they are really beautiful ladies, and I really knew both of them. Here's the first wife, as on the right side, with your parents, it's you and your son, Josef, who plays, as you said,
Yes.
cello, right?
Jana, where do you get all those pictures? Did you break in my computer? Or, I don't know. You are a hacker.
I am thankful. I'm thankful to your sister, who was so kind to
Oh,
send me all those
okay.
pictures.
Okay. Oh.
Amazing them. So I'm thankful, and again, a very big thank to Kate that she has.
Now I know. Now I know.
And of
Yes,
course,
this was Elif, which she's from Turkey. She's Turkish, and she came to this country we were together. I met her there, and we have Ayla, she's 15 now. She plays piano beautifully. Hopefully, she will wants to do it because I think she should. Ayla, practice. And then Josef, he's 12 and he plays cello. Josef, practice. he's a great talent too. So we'll see how it goes. And then I'm with. I've been with Terezi for last 7 years. Terezi, the Fialova is. I mean, she's Bartova now. But we have Oscar and Ben, and they're. How old are they? 2.5 and 1. Yeah, those are Ayla, Josef, and Benjamin. Yeah.
Missing Oscar.
Oscar is missing. Yeah.
Missing,
Oscar
but maybe I have him here. Just a second.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him here.
Oh, this is I think Ben still. I don't
Ben.
know. This is who is it? I don't know. That's good. That's a nice picture.
You hardly can imagine, like when you cannot recognize the little ones.
No, that's a band. That's band because Oscar is dark. He was dark when he was born. That's a nice picture.
But here also your mother, who holds, I think, Ayla, right?
Ayla, yeah, that's Ayla. Yeah. That's Ayla. That's a cute one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's lovely.
My gosh.
Did it change your life when you got kids? Do you feel so?
Well, tell me about this. Yeah.
I must say that it is a big change, but for a good. I think that this makes us really more different people, human being, because we suddenly realize that it's not about us, but about those children, and that's something what I think that everybody should know and should go through, because that's what makes us better people as well. But I must say, allow me to say one story about two of us, because I mean, we always had a lot of fun together with JIRI, absolutely. And we had also once a recording which we made of a piece which was recorded by two of us, but it was a piece which was written for us by a Czech composer, Mr. Kuchera, and it was Romanetto for cello and harp, and we were recording, but we could not finish it because we were still laughing. We were always laughing so much that from the jury, from the regie, they were still calling us, please don't laugh because we cannot finish the recording. It was so funny at that time. But also, I want to say the one story about the children, which I mentioned before. It was about, do you remember when we were having the concert in Switzerland?
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I
must say
I almost killed the best harpist of this century, of the last two.
I must say this story. Excuse me that I will take the time of our guest, but this is something, or maybe you can tell that story. But I just want to say that we were going to, what was the name of the city in Switzerland?
Olten. Yeah.
And it was about 800 kilometers from Prague. I was driving with the harp, and because I had 9 months.
Yeah, so he was in the back.
Yeah, and I was still breastfeeding, so I was traveling with my baby everywhere with the harp and with the baby. So I was traveling, and JIRI was my accompany in the car, and we were driving the whole 800 kilometers to Switzerland. It was not only concert of two of us. We were having concert as a more people, chamber music, which was focused on the harp as the main instrument, and it was connected with the other instruments. But what I wanted to say, that really the harp was the main program based. So on the harp, it stayed all the program. And we came there. We arrived finally, and of course with the baby it is a little bit difficult, but I had some kind of already way how to make it with the children. So with the kid to who to move first, if the harp or if the kid. And JIRI, he was really big help. I just was I was moving the harp because there were stairs. So I was moving a harp, and JIRI just came up to the stairs, and I said, like, please, can you just hold the door for me so that I can pull the harp with the trolley up? So JIRI was standing up on the stairs, and he was just like holding the door, and he was just like looking at me, and I was just bringing the harp backwards, like up, and then I made a step back. And I disappeared because behind me were not no floor.
I didn't realize that you don't know there is nothing. You know? And I was probably after all those 8 hours in the car or 10 hours, I was a little bit dizzy, you know.
Because of course JIRI was up. He has seen that there is no floor. There are steps down again. So he saw that maybe I see it as well, but I was going backwards, so I could not see it, of course. So I came up with the harp and I stepped back and I disappeared because the harp fall on me and I fall down with my body, but I was still holding the harp. There were stairs which were round, so I stepped just in the middle of these stairs, and I could not know what happens. But of course, I damaged my leg, and
your ankle was twisted. You twisted your ankle, and it was swollen like this big, you know.
I could not touch it. But what was the most important of JIRI, who was holding the door? He was just saying, "Jana, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you? You have not seen it." I said, like, "Of course not."
Yeah. I thought that you know that the stairs go downwards. Yeah. So I just, what happened? Where are you? Sorry. Yeah.
But the point was that we were really going all these 800 kilometers for having this concert where I was supposed to play the whole program. But there finally I could not play. So, but the people who were there, I think it was about 5 people. You were so wonderful that you immediately, so spontaneously find some repertoire which you had with you, some music, and you made some kind of like program in 1 hour immediately. And I was with my kids.
There's something very positive about this, because I was never ever asked again to help with the harp again. You know, I mean by Jana. Whenever I say, "Can I help you?" No, don't touch. So, and you know, harp being quite heavy, I enjoy it. I don't have to help. Sorry again.
Maybe you did it by purpose, maybe.
No, I didn't do it by purpose. No.
Yeah. So we really have a lot of great stories together, and I mean, I must say, I have found a picture which I have to share, because as I was talking, we were always laughing with JIRI, really always, everywhere. But it has happened also, if you remember, during the concert, that because you were talking, and I just started to laugh so much that I could not play. And I found the picture. Unfortunately, there is not you, but it's me. But someone took it, and it's exactly.
Oh yeah, I was probably announcing something, right?
You were announcing something, and we were really. I could not stand. I had to start to laugh. Yeah.
You know, this is the greatest pleasure to make you laugh. Man. Yeah, you are such a good. You have such a wonderful laugh that it makes so much fun to make you laugh. You know.
No, but it's really.
You know, I'm talking about you didn't mention why we started. This will be very short, This will be, you mentioned this recording session of this piece written for us. Like we were laughing all the time. We at the beginning, I think we were quite serious. It was difficult and stuff, but what started it off? That the rest of the session was just laugh and laugh. This very situation that we completely. There was this one page of a very complicated writing and with a climax and everything, and we got completely lost. We didn't know. I didn't know what's going on, and I could see that you don't know what's going on, but we just kept playing and kept playing, and then and then we watched each other like, oh shit, that was really bad. We will do it again. And then we hear from the producer, we can see in the window of the studio, big thumb up, like, great, fantastic, we have that's covered, let's go on. And like, what? Like, what the hell? I mean, this was like not everything but not good, And then Jana started to laugh, like you see her now, and I was laughing too, actually. And then the rest of the recording, it just couldn't be serious anymore.
You are absolutely right. That was the reason. Yeah, that was true.
Yeah, it was.
Since that time.
Like, oh, wonderful, wonderful. It was fantastic. He was sitting there with the scar, he was not Oh, God. It's so funny.
It's about 12 years or something since the time when I ever meet this sound engineer. He's always like thinking about this, talking about stories.
Yeah,
laughing again, yeah, smiling. So, great. But we come now actually to the recordings, and I would like to again mention the Bach, pieces by Bach which you have recorded. The CD was released 2 years ago, about.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, by company, small Czech label called Animal Music. They do a lot of jazz, acoustic jazz, and few classical. I think they've done some CDs with Radek Baborák, your other guest you had, wonderful horn player. So that was it. That's for them on a baroque cello, and as you said, how was it to do it after 20 years after? Not any easier. Not any easier. It's just maybe it might have been easier 20 years ago when you don't think too much about it. You don't
exactly.
It's
the responsibility is now different than in 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's just the more you know.
Exactly.
The more you know, that you don't know.
Indeed.
Especially in this kind of music. The more when you are young, you think you are very wise and you know everything, or most, or it's easy. That's piece of cake. I remember when I played the Dvořák cello concerto first time in Rudolfinum as a part of the graduate concert with the. I was 18, 19 or something like this. It was probably not easy, but not so difficult. I mean, I love the music, and why not? Dvořák is getting to do it after all those years. It's more difficult and more difficult. It's funny. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
It's really, as you say, more we know, we are more stronger to ourselves. But your Bach, and everything you play always, it's so great. And we will now again listen to your Bach. It's gorgeous. As of course, it's not there, but I just want to mention that all these videos which we are now listening and watching to are from the documents of the TV. So there are always the links where you can see the whole documents. Unfortunately, they are in Czech language, but I must say that in one of those, you were saying that you wanted this CD to be like live from the concert, that you didn't want to make any cuts, that you wanted to really record it in one. Did it happen like this, that you do it really from the concert? Not finally.
Well, this one is actually like we were listening now. This is from the whole Sixth Suite, complete Sixth Suite, which I played, I don't know, 4 years ago or something, at the Janáček Festival in Czech Republic in Ostrava. The Czech TV was there, and they did the whole show. They recorded and they aired it once or twice, I think, and it's online to be seen. And in the documentary you were mentioning, which was from the village and the church in the village and stuff, this was also about Bach. And it was at this time I was thinking about doing myself the recording in the local church, you know, this church falling apart. And I never finished it. I did it for, I almost have it all in my computer, and it's not bad actually. And it was my idea to do it with nobody, sitting there alone, and just myself turned on the recorder, and I had a very nice microphones and everything. I love those things, and I have my own actually studio. But I was not able to finish it, you know. And then came this Petr Ostrochov, owner of the Animal Music. It came up this situation that he was interested in doing this recording, and he suggested to do it in the real, I mean, with a producer and with a crew and everything. So I got freaked out a little bit about my original plan to do it myself, because doing it for myself, paying, I mean, of my expenses, you know, and possibly offering it to some label or putting it online or whatever. I don't know. Nobody is buying CDs anyway, so putting it online to download or it's different scenario from if somebody comes and putting a lot of money in the whole project, you know. So I got scared that what if I do it wrong, you know? I don't know, something what is not good enough, because and then it's all on me, you know. So I said, okay, let's do it in a proper way with a crew, sound guys, all this most expensive microphones and everything, and the guy who is listening to me, and so Jana, I have to do it again myself. Myself only.
But you have already part of it, you have already recorded.
I have most of it, you know. I have most of it. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So you can finish it. It can be the third CD.
No, it's been already 4 or 5 years when I did it there in the church, you know. So it's different. I'm a different person now. I have to do it again.
In 20 years, you will do it again, for sure. For sure, you will do it.
I don't want to count. I don't want to count.
Oh yes. And JIRI, is there any other project which you are now planning to do? Maybe during the quarantine, you have more other ideas to do, and maybe also options to record, or I don't know. Is there any recording coming?
It's not easy with recordings now, as all of us know. But so unless really, it's I mean, unless you are a big star who sells zillions of records, then which are very few nowadays, then you have to have a good sponsor for all those projects. And I have done so many that I'm quite picky what to do, you know. So. But you know, I'm lucky enough to do now. I will do a few things just for online presentation with a nice orchestra in České Budějovice, Chamber Philharmonic there, for a Piazzolla and Tchaikovsky, but I'm more and more thinking about the big project, all Beethoven sonatas, which I have done in this year, and I mean not as much as it was planned to for obvious reasons, but I did in past few years those complete 5 sonatas of Beethoven, which lies on my heart now as much as Bach lies, which I would like to do with Terezi, with my wife, which we have done a few times, and we will be doing again and again, and maybe there will be time to sit in the studio and try to record.
That would be wonderful. Here you are as a duo.
Hopefully so. Yeah.
So, and as you were mentioning, tomorrow you have a concert live. So maybe if you are so kind to send me also now the link, if you know it by memory, I will show now and broadcast now one video. I allowed to broadcast a video of 2 of us when we were playing in Finum for actually it was anniversary of my mom, and it was my mom about
nice.
8 years ago.
So it will be for your mom.
It will be for everybody, but thank you very much. Of course, my mom.
That will be for your mom. I was trying to find the link, and I'm very bad at. I mean, I couldn't. I sent you this. You posted the picture, but it's a Prague Chamber Orchestra, which is PKO in Czech, Prague Chamber Orchestra, and there, if anyone wants to find their Facebook. The broadcast will be at Facebook, their Facebook, okay.
Excellent.
So excellent. I'm sending you just the name of and their Facebook page.
Perfect.
Page.
I will post it right away. So now listen, Call the Day by JIRI BARTA, our guest today, and
Jana Boušková.
My list there as well. Unfortunately, we cannot listen more, but it just brought me back to the wonderful time when we played at that concert also together with Ivan Ženatý, another Czech violinist, and we did also trio. We did also the Dvořák Slavish dance, if you remember. I have never posted this kind of video, but I will try to find it, and I will try to send it to you, because it's really interesting also to have this kind of memory of that. Jiří, I have here also pictures of you when you were playing with, of course, those mentioned famous conductors. You were performing with, of course, Jiří Bělohlávek, and what I was asking your sister if they are related, because she's also Bělohlávek, but you have been really often his soloist. Did you have a great relationship together?
Yeah, it was especially early 2000s. We were in South America together, in Japan, and this concert was from Dvořák anniversary. Not so much in the last 10 years of his life for some reasons. But yes, and I shouldn't forget Libor Pešek, another wonderful Czech conductor, which I must say I adored him. I mean, he was not very, with JIŘÍ BÁRTA, it was so easy to play. I mean, you know that he was technically, and he would follow you, and he would read your ideas so well. And with Libor, you never knew what. Yeah, this is John Andrea Noceda with Estonia. So with Libor, I'm sorry, I don't have a picture. I might have somewhere, but I'm so unorganized in this matter. So Libor, you never knew what could happen. I remember playing him, I don't know, 7 times Dvořák on a tour in England, and every night was different. You know, that's what I like. You know, I don't like to prepare things and they have to be the same. That's yeah, me too. I know that's why we like to play together, I think. But with Libor, if you know, I had to follow him. You know, I had to really follow him. I couldn't be the one who offers the idea. He was the one who did the idea. So, but it didn't bother me a bit, because he was so musical and so charismatic, and yes, that I was his servant in a concerto where, I mean, both of us should collaborate. No, I was his servant, you know, and I was gladly so. So there was another conductor, and he helped me a lot at the beginning of my career, I must say, without telling me that he was helping, without me knowing that he helped me, you know.
But I hope that maybe he will listen to this as well, because it will be nice that he knows how lovely you can memorize your cooperation with him. And I think that most of the people who had the chance to work with him has the same memory and great stories about the cooperation.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And then I have to say that he's, of course, he's an older man now, and he doesn't conduct anymore, but he was still in a very active and doing well, and he was not, you know, in the Prague scene. He was not invited by the Czech Philharmonic, by the, you know, Prague Spring Festival at all. I mean, for the last 15 years, maybe, for I don't know why, or, you know, the politics or something. Libor Pešek, I mean, he was much then he got the honor of lifetime achievement. You know, who cares about how lifetime achievement? He should, you know. I mean, he was doing well in his time. I mean, probably best of all Czech conductors.
He was a chief in Liverpool.
Yeah, in Liverpool, and he was conducting the best orchestras around in the United States and stuff like this. And
he loved the harp. I must say that he always loved the harp. He was also establishing the orchestra of the students when he was student, and he took my mom to be his first soloist.
Wonderful!
Great tour everywhere, and they were playing the Debussy. Of course, it was his kind of material. You know, he could Debussy, Ravel. So he was always making the music. It was just something so special, though, and it called Sebastian. The orchestra was calling Sebastian.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I mean, I remember. I read about it.
So there are many memories of that, and I'm so glad that we mentioned that, because this is something for the future generations who will certainly not be able to read it anywhere in the Wikipedia or anywhere. So it's so nice of you that you have mentioned also his name and all his memories, all the memories of yours about him.
He's a part of the Czech history of music. I mean, he's one of the greatest Czech conductors, and then we have history of a very good conductor, starting with Václav Talik, you know, Karl Ančer, Václav Neumann, Zdeněk Košler,
of course,
who is more or less forgotten now. You know, we talk then JIRI BÁRTA, of course, and then
and now also many new, also Jakub Hruša, who is going to be the guest on Friday. So don't forget, to all the audience who is listening now and who will listen later, don't forget to tune us again on Friday at 8 o'clock. So we will have a great, really maestro Jakub Hruša on that day. So, and I just want to, because I just look at the watches and I'm so sorry that I took so much of your time today, because it's already 2 hours. I told you it will go so fast that you will not realize that it goes so fast. I just want to ask you, is there anything you would really like to happen in your life still? Is there any dream you have?
I don't know. We should stay. I don't have a big dreams now. So those little happy moments of the life shall continue for the rest of our lives, and shall we stay healthy and have the opportunity to do what we love to do, which happens to be a music in our lives, to be able to do it, that's the most important thing. Otherwise, I don't have big dreams, and I just hoping that I will have a strength to be tough on myself while practicing, and because it's hard, you know this well, and that, So
but I just know what I must tell to the audience. I so admire in you. You are real. You are so real that you are not making anything, like above anything. You are real, and you are like you are. You are the most perfect in every case, and you are honest. You are always so honest. Sometimes it's not easy.
Well,
I am so happy that people like you exist, because only like that we can know that we can talk normally. And I'm sure that whatever you will tell me is the right. You are not behind.
Well, I have a problem. I am making up things just for fun, but you can just to make you smile. But the most important thing, I try not to lie. That made a lot of enemy of myself but I can't resist. If I feel something, I have to say, but then I tell myself, you better shut up next time. But again, I can't. So
I must say, you are. Yeah. This is something what, of course, some people who are different might not accept it, but the people who are honest as you are happy that they can really trust you, and that's something what is very unique. And I thank you very much for this, to be like you are. It's very.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. I'm blushing all the time.
No, I really
very much. We think that you exist because you are you are wonderful. So thanks again for having me. It was a greatest pleasure, because usually even if we have time, we don't call or we don't see each other so much, especially in this time, it's so difficult.
Exactly.
So it was nice. It was hopefully it came across the internet to those people who watched it, and
I'm sure, and I'm really thankful that you took your time, you gave us your time, that you are sharing everything so spontaneously, and I'm really thankful so much for everything you are doing. And I wish that all your projects, which are coming, even you don't know about them yet, will come true, and that more of the luck of anywhere in the world come to you as well, because you deserve it so much. And as we were having this, one of the comment, which I already posted, but I need to post it once more. It is absolutely true, and I only can follow this kind of message which was there. So it's one of my favorite cello players. So I send you really a lot of big hug, JIRI, and I thank you so much for everything. Kisses to your family, to your to your wife, to your children, and I hope really we will have a chance to meet in person very soon.
Absolutely. And play
together, of course.
We have to do something. Yeah.
Certainly, we will. Good luck for everything. Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. And
peace and health, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I wish you all
bye, darling.
Day and morning. I thank you very much to be with us. I thank to our great guest, JIRI BARTA, the wonderful cellist. Listen to all his videos on the YouTube. You will never regret. You should find all the information fantastic web page. Look at it. You will certainly be very impressed. And by his playing always, he's a great person as well, as you have seen. Have a great evening, and I thank you so much to be with us. Bye, JIRI.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, darling. Bye. 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 Bye.